All right, happy Friday, everybody. We have a couple of video submissions. We've got a couple of still images, so we're going to hop right into it today. I'm going to turn off my camera, but I'll hop back on at the end. Okay, so we've got Aaron today. Oh, share my screen. Man, I am off today. I am just not, it's not great today. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we've got... it's funny because whatever. Aaron, so we were talking about this before we went online. We have your older version, which was a standard sRGB, and then we have the ACES workflow, which we've adjusted to. Now, and you can talk a little more about this, but the first thing that stands out is the character lighting between the two is different, and kind of what's looking like the subsurface shader looks a little bit. Less it's more saturated in this version, so that's something to work on. But the one thing that's really looking great is look at the couch, like the way that the light is able to really kind of penetrate into the space and really kind of rattle around in there is really cool. And I think that's working out really successfully. But you were saying, just so everyone knows, about the skin color, like it was you guys were working with that yesterday.
Not particularly the skin, but it was just like if you in a lot of these poses where he stands and like puts his fist in the air.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the key where I was working, like probably the last 20 frames I was actually rendering to go back and forth. But like, it's just like the direction of the light like changes, and it's like it's like okay, like all I did was change the color space.
Yeah.
It shouldn't affect that much. Even like the rim.
That's true.
The rim was completely gone. Like Diana watched, I had to like crank up that layer inside Nuke. The lighting on the girl changes when she kind of pokes her head in the house.
Yeah.
And it's like I was telling you, all I did, any lighting I adjusted, no lighting positions were changed.
Yeah.
If anything, it was values, and it was all in the same relationship. So,
yeah,
if I raised my key up by like a stop, it was like I raised my bounce up by like a stop or something. So
yeah.
Yeah, that's also the thing, like, the relationship should change probably, because the bounce is not as needed anymore. Like, if the key is raised, then maybe bounce has to be killed or something. But, but we have to look at it in Maya.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The nice thing is that this is not, like, super post-processed. So when I go into Maya, and there's not, like, a ton of lights. I think there's less than a dozen lights doing the work. So... just turning off each one, making sure that they're doing what they should be doing. I'm not like lost in it's not like a big jumble yet, so that's good.
Yeah,
because I felt like the blacks were like his pants and the floor completely loses
totally
as well.
Totally, his cane too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because but it's funny because like you can see over here there's a nice dark value with a little bit of value and a little bit of saturation, but yeah, that's odd how like it's just and like the base of the couch I guess is white, so I don't know. Something wacky is going on. I wish I had more. So good news is I think the setup is stronger because it's giving you more indirect light, especially in the interior space, which feels more natural. Again, like I was looking back here by the entrance, like and just seeing how much that has changed between the two. It looks a lot better. And like seeing this fall off against the back wall here is very satisfying to see that. It also like good. What was that, Diana?
The vase.
Yeah.
The plant in the back. It's very different.
Yeah, I think that like all of that stuff is looking a lot better. If we can get the characters, like just whatever's going on I think it's funny because if it was like just their skin, I would be like, oh, I'm sure there's something going on with the shader. But it's like his shirt, his pants, the floor. Like, so once we kind of figure out how to get that looking a little better, I think overall your end product is going to definitely be better.
Yeah, well, with two bases, I had to like adjust pretty much all the shaders and most of my lights. I even deleted a few because there was like too much because there's so much bounce light that it adds. So I think just probably adjusting everything and it'll look so much better.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, but this is a good sound. Like I said, I wish I had more, because I know you were looking for feedback for a weekend render, but I think I think we just gotta tackle some of these other issues first.
Yeah, it's fine. Like I was telling you before, I don't. If it wasn't Friday and if this didn't take 2 days to render,
right,
I probably would have turned it in. But it's good to see that like we're on the same page. And
no, I listen. I would always, and I recommend this. I always use the weekends to like render slightly higher resolution or like whatever you can do, because it always like the Monday review is always. And this was more me at work. Like that's when I would render not low res over the weekend and try and get stuff turned around. But it's interesting. Yeah, no, it's good stuff. Okay, let's do, while we're in here, I'm gonna do Kevin's next. So Kevin did a really good job of noticing a bit of an issue with our original one from this class, where the bounce light on her, like basically the way that because like I had set the master lighting here, and then the way that this first shot was positioned, the keys kind of look flipped a little bit, and so so now he has the key light coming in from this one. I think it's working really well from the key position. The one. I mean, I think overall this is looking good. I think that's the one thing I would watch out for, and again, it feels like the ambient occlusion down here is a little bit strong. Like it feels a little bit like a second shadow. And the white fence is better, but now it's a little bit too bright. It's a little kind of super glowy. And I think that the bunny ears in the first shot can go a little bit brighter to match. Like they're little toned down here, and then when we pan in the next one, we've got these brights. I think that we could possibly tone these down slightly in the comp, especially if you have an EXR, you can just kind of roll back those highlights. But I do think we can make the first shot a little bit brighter. Does anyone else have any notes on this? I think this is...
She looks really good in the first shot.
Yeah, that's the best. I think that might be the best I've seen her look in that first shot.
Mm-hmm.
This is not... yeah, these aren't the easiest shots in the world to light. And I think that's looking really good. Yeah, good job with that, Kevin. All right. Let's hop in. Okay, so Annabelle, we've got you up here. Yeah, we'll do Annabelle, then we'll do Diana. Jordan was unable to make it, and then we'll do Montgomery. Okay, Annabelle. So I like the screen a lot better. I wanted to start there. I think that's looking like much more like a computer screen. It's dropped back into the monitor a lot better. I think that it's funny now that that's happening. This light, which appears to be about the same, maybe a little brighter from the last iteration, is making a lot of sense. I think that's looking great. For the ambient occlusion in the corners.
Yeah, I actually found out what was the problem. There was just like because of the displacement map, it was like making like moving the geometry. So I just added like edge loops to like make it more like a corner. But I think it's better. I think it look as bright as before.
It's interesting because now that I'm looking at the textures on the walls, is this wall? Is this supposed to be like concrete, or is it supposed to be like wallpaper that looks like that because it's an office?
It was like some kind of, I guess kind of concrete if you want, but I don't remember what it's called, like the plaster that they put sometimes on the walls, like that makes some kind of texture. I just don't remember the name of it, but yeah, that's pretty much what I was going for. Okay. I think we should smooth out that wall. I think it should just be drywall. Yeah, okay. I think so, because a lot of texture with the brick wall and then that next to it, it's maybe a bit too much. And then with the brick wall, looking down, because we're kind of seeing it a little bit at an angle, I'm kind of aware that it's flat in there now that I'm kind of looking at it. I'm wondering if we couldn't get a little displacement in there, or if there is some, just increasing it a little bit. Yeah, there is some, but maybe I didn't put it high enough, so. Yeah, it's not bad. It's just like in this region here, it looks like a flat texture on a flat surface. So. Yeah, probably because the light is like shining on it directly at the bottom. You see some shadows, but like, yeah, it looks flatter there. Yeah.
I feel like the displacement isn't working. Like it's not taking effect. Yeah.
Well, it is because I saw the ambient occlusion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But it might just not be deep enough. So just take a look at that. In terms of the rest of it, like we were talking about eyeglasses with with Ashley, but like these glasses I think actually look really good on her. Like there's like you get a little bit of the warbling because we're kind of looking at them from an angle, but I could still read her eye really well. There's some reflection, but it's not distracting. I think for this still anyway, I think that works really well. And like some of the stuff, like the back of this iMac back here, or this Mac Power book. What are the desktop ones called? Just a Macintosh computer. Just the Apple computer back there. The back of it looks like that nice brushed metal. I think that looks really nice. There's like diffused reflections on there that look really great. I think everything else is looking, between these two images, I think everything else is working pretty well. I don't know, Aaron, Diana, Ashley, do you guys see anything?
Yeah, I mean, on the glass door, I'm guessing that's a reflection from the thing that's in front of it. A little green, or is it like
this here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't hear you, Annabelle. Is it just me?
No, yeah, Annabelle has mic issues sometimes, I think, right?
Yeah.
No. Sorry, I know. Yeah, I'll try and read your lips. You're good. No, I'm just kidding. I can't do that. It does look like it's a reflection of something off camera here. I don't think it's this. I don't think so. Maybe that, because it feels like if the camera was up here. Oh no, it's the wall.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's this in front, the white one.
Yeah, it's the white wall, but it's got the tint on it. Maybe just diffusing those reflections a little bit, like I don't know, just because like this line is.
Yeah. Just that line.
Yeah. Because like it's funny down here, it doesn't bother me as much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So maybe just diffuse those reflections a couple pixels. I like giving somebody a box that says you're fired on it too. That's really good. It's really funny. All right, let's hop over to Diana's. So I think this is looking a lot better. Yeah. And I like the rack focus that you're doing on it too. Yeah, I think from there it's just and let me look at this. And I like this little bit of spill too. Was that there yesterday?
No.
Yeah, it's nice because it's really kind of tying it in. I think you might be able to push these bright values even just a shade brighter too.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're definitely, because like it would be cool because if that goes brighter here when it goes out of focus, you might be able to sneak in like a little bit of a like a bokeh type of a pattern, like out of focus blur on it that might make it look even prettier. And then when you zoom in, you're like, ooh. And then but this like thickness on it looks really, really good. And then once we get into this pose, it would just be like I'm getting the reflection in the eye and stuff. But everything else feels pretty good.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Also, and then just watch out for like there's this blue. It's gonna be like it's gonna suck because you're gonna have to chase down some rogue, and then there's gonna be a point too where like something like this, you're like, I don't know where that's coming from, and it's like, just go in there and just kind of paint it out in a couple frames.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, the ruby looks really gorgeous. It's
right?
really pretty with the shine and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so stuff like that. Yeah, I had a sequence in Ice Age 5 where there was like this pink crystal-y thing that was like super important, and like it was, and we had such a hard time of making it look special and like making it look, and I was like, and I felt your pain a little bit when I was giving you those notes because it was the exact same stuff that I was getting of just like, yeah, it just needs to like feel more special, and you're like, I don't like,
I agree, but I don't know how.
I don't know how. But that's where that's the, I mean, now that you're kind of you've got it, that's like the challenge of lighting, right? Like how do you make something look a way to give somebody a feeling, which is really hard.
The depth of field, like the different ones between the first two.
Yeah.
I was going like this was the original plan. It was going to be in focus and then out and then in again. But the shot is like kind of fast paced, so we'll see when I render it if it's too much, and then I might just keep it out of focus for a lot of it. But I don't know if that's.
So because she.
When she comes up, it'll be in focus, but when she's in the back.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, give it a try. Yeah. Is that in render or in comp?
In comp.
Okay, yeah, so you can play with it a lot.
Yeah.
I may be in the minority, but I tend to, unless a shot is longer, I tend to just have one rack focus, then a back and forth, because it starts to not feel.
Yeah.
It feels like a spastic camera operator and not a. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I agree. It's too fast. So do you think the having focus on her is okay? Like it doesn't look weird out of focus in the front, or does it look like it's too much?
No, I mean I think it's a little more than what would naturally be there, but I like it, because, and I was thinking about it in terms of like, because at first I was like, maybe if the audience had already been introduced to this thing, it's like totally fine because we already know what it is that she's going for. But I actually kind of like the idea that we haven't been introduced to it yet, and it allows like a bit of a slow reveal of it, which is interesting because it's like ooh, what is this thing? Like ooh, especially when it, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Thanks though.
Yeah, there is a possibility too that you could add. I always think about this. So like whenever you are introducing like a sword or a knife or something that could be dangerous, you can put like a little speck thing down the edge of it to really illustrate that it's sharp. But you can also do it on a diamond too, where it's like where it comes into focus and all of a sudden there's just like a little fling. Like I don't know, a bing. Like I don't know the right sound effect for it, but
yeah, that was a good sound.
Thanks.
How?
The how is you move something, so you create a pass where it's like you get something reflective to kind of move through that, and that'll create the motion, and then you can use that highlighted value in the comp to glow it up and blur and bloom it a little bit, and then like that kind of like glowy brightness thing will move along. That's how I would do it anyway. So, all right. Let's go. We'll hop over to Jordan's. So Jordan introduced the goggles back again, and he was iterating between these two versions with a little bit less and more light on the hair. And I think I like where your head's at because this does feel like a little bit too much, but I think this feels like a little bit too little for me. So I think splitting the difference would be good. And the clear glasses look cool. I just want to read a little bit more of the edge. So if you can get a little bit more of the like magenta purple color, like to kind of like pretend like it's just hitting the, because there's, when you have like, if you had glass like that, there'd be a little bit of thickness on the side. I realize, here, let me share my thing, because I'm doing this without you guys being able to see it. There's like glass and then there's like a little bit of thing on the side, right? And then you'd be able to, because there's enough of a normal there to get like a little bit of light on the edge, and that would really allow us to kind of read that profile a little bit. I'm fine losing it more on this side, but I think on this side it would be nice to get a little bit there, just so we can feel the separation from the face. Garment's looking good. Skin's looking a lot better. Yeah, maybe just a little more bump in the skin. And then eyeing wise, you want to put them over here, both of them on the screen right side, because that's where the key light's coming in. And then I would try and get a little more speck along the jawline down here, to allow that to separate a little bit more from the neck. And because like right in here we could use a little bit more speckiness too, and that would do that. maybe a touch more bounce under the nose, because that bottom part of the nose is getting a little dark. But other than that, I like the earrings look really good. Like that like value of gold is really kind of hard to achieve, and then like that amount of specular variation is what I would call that. Like we got a little bit of blue reflection, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and like it feels very, very natural. Out of focus background helps. I wonder too if we can get, because these are kind of bright back here. I mean, try and get a little, like use a little light wrap if you're in, I don't know if you're in Nuke. I know you're working through Nuke right now. But if you can't get like a little bit of light wrap on the edge between the character and the background, I think that'll really help out too. Yeah, what do you guys think? Hey Vanessa. It's good.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a shader thing. It looks metal. Oh.
That's okay.
It looks like they turned metal a little bit here.
Yeah. Are you talking about the hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because like I probably wouldn't have commented on it until you took it away, and it was like, yeah, you know what? Now I'm very aware of it.
Yeah.
That's good. By the way, doggos are always welcome. Yeah.
It's so cute.
Yeah. It's very cute.
Waiting for me to open.
It's funny because he just busted in the, or he or she just busted in the door, right? And then like it was like, hey, now I need you to help me out. It's very cute. Yeah, no, I think this looks great. All right, let's hop over into Montgomery's. So this is his first attempt at the character lighting. This is a reference that he's bringing in. And the first thing that I noticed about this was the background, which is funny because it's the character lighting. And it was so, it's so rare in someone's first assignment that they're getting this type of like ramp fall off value difference on the background, that I think it was like, oh man, that's really great. And so I just wanted to compliment you on that, because that's something that's easily overlooked that I definitely did for a very long time. I was like, put it over gray or whatever, and it would just be like a solid color back there. But getting like that allows, it sounds silly, but it really gives a good foundation. So the one thing that I was looking at, so I think the position of the light is good. You're getting some nice shaping across the character, across the pants, across a lot of this. The value of some of these things, so like looking at the shadow value on these characters, and it's funny, I was just watching Ralph Breaks the Internet with my son the other day. And so I was just like looking at these fill values, especially in the skin, it feels very lifted. Like, and it feels a little bit flat because we're not getting the darker shadow values within them. So I'm wondering, it almost feels like there's too much subsurface scattering. I'm not quite sure how to put my finger on, or maybe it's just the fill values are a little bit too high. But I want to get darker on the fill side. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I feel like it's the subsurface scattering. Maybe there's too much. Or...
Yeah, because it's more on the skin than it is on the garments, right? Like the garments don't seem, bright enough in the key area, and then the skin feels a little too bright in the key area and not dark enough in the shadow.
Yeah, I feel so too.
Yeah. So I think what you should do is bring down either the subsurface color or the overall color, whichever is contributing more to it. Just bring down the color of the skin, so it's kind of more like the value is similar to this, and then you might need to boost the light up a little bit. It just feels like we talk about this sometimes, that there's a disconnect in the shader values between between some of the elements. Like the clothes just feel a little bit darker. But in terms of like first character lighting assignment, this is really, really good. Like I was like, wow, this is again light years ahead of where I was. But I think getting that balance in place and then adjusting those values, and I think you'll be in a really good spot. It might be a matter too with this character, and again, this is just because it's a little bit of a simple shader on it. But if you can, try running ambient occlusion on there as well, because I think that could help get some shadow like inside here. because it's nice that there's light penetrating that, but there's also like I'm missing a little bit of the darkness in there as well. And again, like areas like around the eyes, like the eye whites feel very kind of matte in tone. So yeah, good job, man. That's really good. All right, I think that's it for today, for the week. Do you guys have anything? Anybody else got a dog nearby? So they're always, like I said, always welcome. All right, cool. All right, I'll let you guys go. You all have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you all very soon. All right, take care, everybody. Happy lighting.
Bye.
Bye.